Okay, welcome to another episode of Fantastic Playthrough. Today we're playing Final Fantasy X Remastered, and we're on episode 3. So last time we got rescued by the Bhed, and now they've asked us to help them with their mission here. So let's go... Oh, what did I do that for? Let's go back down. Okay, now that we're ready, let's go ahead and dive. So they'd like us to go check out these ruins that they found underneath the water, underneath their ship here. So let's go ahead and follow this. So let's go ahead and continue stealing with Rikku. So these piranhas are a little sneaky. Sometimes they can cause you to get a status effect called zombie, where any healing potions or any kind of healing items will actually kill you. But it has an additive effect of if you have zombie on, you cannot be killed by magic effects such as doom and death. So you notice all the writing and everything in this little area here. Ominous music here. It's got more of the piranhas now. Sweet. I think we should be able to get 4 grenades out of this battle here. There we go. 3. And maybe 1 more. Steal. Oh, alright. Bonus. Take him out. Alright. I had the overdrive, but I'm gonna save it for the next battle. So let's do this before we continue. So let's put this to memory, and we'll put the aeons to short. That'll come in later on. So, but these are little settings that make life a little easier here. So let's examine this machine here. So this little area we're in really helps. So we're just about to be introduced to our next boss fight here. This boss fight isn't too hard, but they introduce us to in-game maneuvers and just movements that will come in handy later on. So let's start using our grenades here, because Rikku's physical attributes aren't very strong at this point in the game. So we're just going to compensate with items at the moment. I should have used the overdrive there. So it's going to go ahead and come back around. So now it's out of reach. So it's gonna ask, it's gonna prompt us right now to do trigger commands. See? So we're gonna stand by so we can recover some HP. Keep doing that. Nautilus charge. So let's go ahead and use our overdrive here. So underwater, his overdrives don't normally work nor how they usually do. They just do damage. So let's use a grenade. And that should prompt him to move again. Okay. So now it's going to give us this pincer attack movement. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's finish the battle now. Oh, okay. Almost. That one hurt. This should do it. Yep, that's it. End of battle. Pretty easy fight overall there. It's just meant for you to really get acquainted with the new trigger commands. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So pay really a really close attention to the details in the background here. So we went ahead and turned on the power. There is what we did so far by turning on the generator. But go ahead and really pay attention to the details in the background here. We'll see a familiar thing that we saw in the trailer of the game, and so there it is. So that's the airship that we see later on in the game, and that we'll receive once we meet a certain amount of characters. But yeah, we'll be seeing that again very soon. Let's go to where Rikku is. Okay. Yeah, remember this airship. We're gonna see it again. So we're back on the ship, on the Albert ship. So there's the airship. That's what we've learned from them.
Hey!
So like I said, they're a very tight-knit community, the Bhed. So they don't want anybody coming into their personal space unless they're really invited into it and they feel comfortable with you. So that's probably why they're not letting him in. Some people also say that they just think he was a fiend, because in the first part that we saw when we first saw the Bhed, they think he's a fiend. But come on, man, he's a human.
Whoa! Right on.
Another theory I wanted to talk about in this game was, a lot of people think that Tidus, our main character, is time traveling, but I'm of the opinion that this is a debate that's been going on with Final Fantasy fans for a little while. I don't think he time travels. There's
It's
more
'cause you eat too fast.
other elements that come into play that I don't want to disclose yet. He's not time traveling right now, is what I want to say.
Hey!
That's my 2 cents on that. It just doesn't make sense.
Hello there.
You'll see
What's
why.
your name?
Riku?
Whoa! You really do understand.
So now we know Riku's name.
Why didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
So this is what I was talking about. They think he's a fiend.
We?
Oh, we means you.
Who are you guys anyway?
We're Bhed. Can't you tell? Wait, you're not an Bhed hater, are you?
I don't even know what
So
an Bhed
what she's
is.
mentioning here,
Where are you
Bhed
from?
haters, they're very
Zanarkand. I'm a blitzball player.
they're outcasts basically, the Bhed,
Star
because there's a
player
major
of the
religion
Zanarkand
called
Apes?
Did you hit your head or something?
like Yevon, right? Yevon is the religion
You
of
guys hit me?
the game, and they really don't
Oh,
like the
right.
Bhed.
Do you remember anything before
You'll
that?
notice why soon, but basically there's a rift between them and they're considered outcasts in the game.
So I told her everything there was to tell about Zanarkand. About life there, Blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder.
Let's see.
Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin. Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there is no Zanarkand anymore. Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago.
So this is what I was talking
So,
about
no one
with
plays blitzball
time
there?
traveling and if it's something else. I don't think it's time travel. It's just the timelines don't meet up. The
What do you
characters
mean,
don't
1,000
make
years
sense.
ago?
It just doesn't work.
But I saw Sin attack Zanarkand. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way.
Alright, so let's go ahead and trigger this.
You said... You play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
So blitzball is
You know,
the
you should
soccer
go to
of this
Luca.
game. Very
Someone might know
very
who you are,
popular
or
and
you might
very
find someone you recognize.
Luca?
very widely played, I guess. And it's gonna come into play later on in one of our future characters' overdrive system that we'll meet very
Okay,
soon.
leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here? Okay, I'll go tell the others. Wait here. Oh, and one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Zanarkand, okay? Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh. My Zanarkand? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right, I thought. Since when? Yevon? Sin? Luca? I
So
thought
he's really
Sin just took
questioning
me to a
everything he
faraway
knows right
place that I could go back in a day or two.
So
But 1,000
another thing
years
I
into
wanted
the
to touch
future?
on was you're probably wondering who the voice is.
way.
The voice is, for all you Final Fantasy fans, I'm sure you already know. It's James Arnold Taylor is who's the voice of Tidus. And Rikku for you know, all you fans of Miss Tara Strong, who's voiced many characters in shows like Powerpuff Girls and Fairly Odd Parents, and she was also one of the voices on American Dad. So that was Rikku, Tara Strong. And then we're about to meet one of my third staples usually. That's Waka. We'll meet him in a second here. Oh no. So he just got swept away. Okay. Beautiful island, huh? Kingston just brought us here from the Bhed ship. So there's that blitzball we were talking about, and there's Waka.
Blitzball!
Hey, you okay?
Hey!
So that's Waka. So how we were talking about voice acting earlier. So that's Waka, one of my favorite characters. He is voiced by a little voice actor named John DiMaggio. I'm sure you know him. He voiced the voice of Bender, Future Bender, because obviously Futurama came after this game. So he's probably the most famous out of everybody in the voice acting crew.
Yo. Hiya.
I mean, Tara Strong is also up there, but I think John DiMaggio is really the guy.
Finally. Things were
who's
starting
most
to
famous,
look up.
I guess. So what we're seeing him do there is the sphere shot. We'll see it again when we start playing. When Blitzball becomes
The Zanarkand Abes.
when Blitzball becomes available to us. So that's the Besaid
What
Aurochs.
did you say again?
Besaid is the island we're on right now.
I got too close to Sin, and my head's all foggy like. So I don't know where this.
So each of the
place is.
Besaid Aurochs
Or
has a
even where I
name.
came from.
Since toxin
We'll
got
meet
to
them
you,
as we go along.
but you're still alive. Praise be to Yevon.
Kipa, Bada, Dado, Letty,
right, back to
Jasu,
practice.
and Waka. I believe are all the Besaid
Coach
Aurochs'
and
names.
captain of the Besaid Aurochs, brother. What? You hungry?
So I think he's trying to
Okay,
do like a
back to the
pseudo
village. I'll get you
Jamaican accent there, or like an island accent. I don't know. Maybe John DiMaggio decided to take a vacation somewhere and he came up with that accent, but it's become pretty synonymous with Waka. So let's go ahead and get this chest. So you probably noticed when I was talking about John DiMaggio, we picked up something called the Moon Crest. So it's here in our key items. So that comes in later on in the end game, but I like to get it here early because really there's nothing else left in this little area. So I like to get it, as I go along in the game. Whatever I can get, I like to get. So that'll come in play for our other character Yuna, who I mentioned in the early part of the game. it unlocks some of her so if you are a fan of the Final Fantasy series, you know that there's always the best items, the best armor, and usually they're nicknamed ultimate weapons. So Yuna's ultimate weapon will be Nirvana is the name. Will be has to be unlocked in 2 stages, just like every other weapon of every other character. So first it's a crest and then a sigil.
I felt like I could trust this.
So we have the first part of it, but we need the second part of it, which will come into play later on.
It's true Zanarkand was destroyed, right? 1,000 years ago? So it's just a big pile of rubble now, isn't it?
Long time ago, there were a whole lot of cities in Spira. Big cities with machines to run them. People played all day and let the machina do the work. And then, well, take a look. Sin came and destroyed the machina cities.
Remnant of all the cities.
With him. Yeah, that was about 1,000 years ago, just like you said.
So this is where the whole machina and the religion clash comes into play.
What gets me though is we gotta suffer because of what some goofballs did way back when. Of course, we must always repent for our sins. That's important. It's just that it's hard to keep at it sometimes, you know?
So the themes of this game really show the conflict between religion and modernization, I guess, in that sense, with the Yavin and the Machina Wars
but you from the Zanarkand days,
here.
That was a good one, huh?
Can still be applied today, but
existed,
you know, to each their own.
But you gotta figure, a team living in luxury like that be pretty soft, eh?
I appreciated the fact that but at that time, all I could think about was everything that happened to me. All this.
So Wakka's your no-nonsense, blue-collar kind of guy, average kind of guy, just trying to make his way through the world.
For now, I just live life until that time
I can
came.
respect that. You know?
No more worrying about where or when I was. Sure, it was hard not to think of home, but I started to feel better already. A little better.
So we see Tidus really trying to, you know, make sense of it, and he's kind of lying to himself, and he's trying to, you know, accept the truth, but he's still lying to himself a little bit in this part of the game. So that's just something to keep in mind right now. Okay.
Huh? What's the big idea?
Very peaceful island, by the way. I'd love to live here if this was a real place. Then again, there are places where this is based off of, so it's really nice. The coral reefs and the clear water. Why not? That'd be nice right where I'm at. Some more of these piranhas. So we no longer have that steal and use function, so we can't do anything. We just gotta kill them. So Wakka, his overdrive, we were talking about earlier how Blitzball plays a huge role in this game. So his is the reel system where you have attack reels, status reels, Auroch reels, and attack reels. I think I may have said that twice. Element reels, there you go. That was the last one. And how you unlock them is you gotta go through, you gotta play Blitzball, and it shows up every random, I wouldn't say randomly, there's certain events that have to occur for each thing to be unlocked, for become available, so it can get it. And then once you have all four all four reels, you are able to get his sigil for his ultimate weapon through Blitzball. So that's something we'll be exploring later on in the game. But that's how Wakka's overdrive works. Also, the one thing about this part of the game, I love that there's no like air or breathing breathing counter, that you can only be underwater for a certain amount of time. which is kind of nice, to be honest with you, because it really gives you freedom to explore the, you know, the world and really take in like everything that they've done in the background. Such as like look at this coral reef here, you know, like you wouldn't be able to really appreciate it if you only had a certain amount of time underwater, right? But there is one thing that that I don't really like. There you can only use 3 characters in the game underwater, which is Wakka, Rikku, and Tidus. Everybody else can only be on ground. They can't go underwater, which is kind of a bummer, because I would love to have seen, like, you know, Lulu or Auron underwater. We're here.
Let me go!
Got a favor to ask you.
You want me on your team, right?
A major Blitz tournament's coming up. All the teams in Spira will be there.
You see.
It's so huge, I'm sure someone there will recognize you. Then you can go back to your old team, right? It'll be fun. What do you say, huh? Come on, come on!
So Wakka's asking him to enter his team here.
Sure thing.
Dude, our team is gonna rock, eh?
Hell yeah, it's gonna rock.
I thought then that Blitzball and Sin... I wasn't too far off.
Okay. So we're here on Bhed Island. We just went through
this is where I
major
was
scene
born.
there.
I started Blitz when I was 5. I joined the Aurochs at 13, 10 years ago. 10 years. And we never won a game.
So Wakka is supposed to be 23 in the
last year's
game.
tournament, I quit.
And Tidus is actually supposed to be 17. Same with our other main character, Yuna. They're both 17, I believe.
So, after quitting,
and you're probably
I got
wondering
this new
why
job,
is there such a young
every
age?
time my mind wandered.
The reason is
Thought
in
about
the
the
early
game.
development of the game,
10 years
the
without-
creators were playing around with the idea of people turning
My first match
17 and
last
then
year was my
dying.
big chance.
And
Something else was on my mind.
it just didn't fit the
Couldn't
story,
focus.
so they ended up scrapping
Nice
that, but they
excuse.
kept the age
Hey,
of Yuna and Tidus as 17.
So, you want to win the next tournament. Go out with a bang. So, what's our goal?
I don't care how
What
we
is our
do,
goal?
long as we play our best. If we give it our all, I can walk away happy.
No. If I say, what's our goal? You say, victory! When you play in a Blitzball tournament, you play to win.
Yeah, you do.
Victory?
You play to win.
You're serious?
Or at least you try your best. Try your hardest to win. Okay. So let's go ahead and run down this path here.
Ah, the one from the sea.
Be on guard. There are fiends on the road
Gata.
today.
After surviving your run-in with Sin, 'twould be a shame if something happened now.
Who are they?
Luzu and Gata, Crusaders.
Huh?
What, you forgot that too? Hey, sorry. Don't worry about it. I'll help you out.
So they're the other side of the coin, with the
In
Bhed
return,
being on
come
one
tournament
side and
time, I'll make
the
sure we take the
Crusaders
cup.
being on one side.
Ooh.
They hate each other.
About the Crusaders, you can ask them yourself. They got a lodge in their village.
Okay. So we'll go visit them. So let's go ahead and enter Bhed village here.
Bhed village.
They got any food there?
We'll get you something over there later. Take a look around first. Let's see. The Crusaders' lodge is over yonder. Luzu and Kata are usually there. All right. Over here.
Huh? What's up?
You do remember the prayer, right?
So this is what we were talking about.
Of course, I'd never prayed before in my life.
So
not that he would.
we were
know
talking
that.
about how that sign
must have
is the
forgotten
victory
something.
sound
Here, I'll show
is
you.
the so this action that he's about to do is the sign of victory in Zanarkand, but it's a prayer in Yevon, and you could see how through years of like distortion how it's changed, and people have misinterpreted it. And we were also talking about how there was a Final Fantasy character in Final Fantasy VIII who has a similar victory pose that looks eerily similar to this prayer. It's actually Kyros
Any blitzball player
from Final
would know
Fantasy
that
X.
prayer. It was the blitzball sign for victory.
So there it is. That was what we were talking about, the blitzball sign of victory. Yeah, we see that in Final Fantasy VIII. They alluded to it very, a little Easter egg there, I guess, for all you astute Final Fantasy fans. So let's get this. Let's go over here, grab these chests. This one. Talk to this guy. Since struck Bhed village so many times I lost count. After this house got hit, I guess the owner just let it be. I bet. So let's go into this just so we can save. Okay, so I'm gonna call it an episode there. That's episode 3. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends to help grow the channel. I really appreciate everything. Thank you for watching.